Hey Cha-Cha Nation.
Hi Cha-Cha Nation.
Hi Cha-Cha Nation.
Yes, so Cha-Cha Nation. This is not Cha-Cha Music Review Podcast. And based on logistics, we're going to amplify the African sound by bringing the best of African music into your ears.
Yeah. Cha-Cha.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and members of the Cha-Cha Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Cha-Cha Album Review Series on the Cha-Cha Music Review Podcast. You already know, my name is Afis Tonova, aka your musical plug, creator of the Energy Force. And today, I will be talking about the new album from Fireboy DML. But I'm not going to be doing this alone. I have a guest in the compound with me, and together, we'll be analyzing, criticizing, and reviewing the new album from Fireboy. And without wasting much of your time, let me allow my guest for today to introduce himself.
My name is Mustapha, but I'm generally known as Neonate. I'm a general music fan. Sometimes I do critique too. And I write when I'm not lazy, though I'm very lazy.
I hope you don't be lazy, today to review this album for us.
Not at all. I'm here for you guys.
So before I go on, let me quickly give a little info about the album. Like I said, the album is titled Playboy, and it was released on the 4th of August, 2022. And the album features Asake, Chris Brown, Rema, Ed Sheeran, Europe, and Shenseea. Now, the producers that work on the album include Bizzouch, P.Prime, Blaise, Beatz, Phantom, Zaki, Amujei, Shizzi, Kolten, Type A, Telz, Zaki, and KLP. Those are the producers that work on the album. Now, Mustapha, let me ask you this. When you've listened to the album for the first time, your first listening, what was your impression?
I had an impression of it was not a bad album at all. It was a good album, but the expectation for Fireboy is high. We are
definitely
expecting something. We're expecting something that will pair the two albums. It's a very perfect album. That's what I think they did is it had a team, the Playboy team, and they made sure that they picked the best songs that were recorded at that moment, at that frame time that he had of the Playboy team.
Okay, for me too, I'm not even going to lie. When I listened to the album for the first time, there were some songs. Immediately I started listening to the album. So, I listened to Change, I listened to Bandana, and I got some couple of them. I'm like, okay, no, I need to play this song again before I go through. So, on my first listening, I was already even picking out, I think I like this song. Let me repeat this song before I go to the whole listening, of the whole album in general. And like Mustapha rightly said, it had a team and they tried, to stick to the team, and it is a good album. Now, Mustapha, let's talk about the production of the album. In terms of the production of the album, what can you say about the production of the album?
The album has a smooth production, very smooth production, but I would have added some producers onto the album production. I think the spice of feels is missing. Also, I really wanted to see more of the guy that produced Peru. What's that his name? The popular guy.
Shizzi.
Shizzi, yes, thank you. I wanted to see more of Shizzi on that album. Peru is a classic material from the global Afrobeat to the world movement. We had Shizzi. Shizzi did an excellent work on Peru, so I really wanted to see Shizzi had more production. But all the producers did well. Zaki Amujei, he just blew me off. I've heard of him. I've had his records with other artists, but on the Afro High Life song, he blew me off. And it has a smooth production, Sha. Very good production.
All right. Like you rightly said also, I was surprised that Shizzi only produced, one song on this album. And we already know that Shizzi produced Peru. Peru was one of the songs that was released as a single of the album. We have Peru. We have the original Peru. We have the one with Ed Sheeran. We have Bandana. And we have Playboy. Those were the 4 songs that were released off, the album as a single. And like Mustapha rightly said, I also expected, or I thought Shizzi was going to have, if not maybe 2 or 3, at least songs that he did on the album. But like he rightly said, and as it took it off my mind when he spoke about the beautiful work that Zaki Amujei did on the song titled I For Our Life. don't let me go into, the old song, but let me just stick to the production. That is what we call a classic Afrobeat song. I mean, if you're looking for that Afrobeat song, now I'm talking about Afrobeat without the S. Now, that is a song that, from the guitar to the piano to the trumpet, everything was so on point with the production of that song. And I mean, shout out to P.Prime. P.Prime 2 also came through on the album. Shout out to KLP. Every producer on this album, came through on the album. Now, I mean, you've mentioned Afro High Life, and I've also mentioned Afro High Life, and it's kind of obvious that this is one of the songs that we like most on this album. So let me just go into that section and ask you, which songs would you say were your top favorites on the album? And which song will you say are not your top favorites, and why are you going to say that?
My top songs first. I would like to bring in Peru. Peru is that song that both the original and remix, you hear it as a single, you listen to it as the album material, you know that this is the song. This is a song. This is the Afrobeat to the world movement. Also, you can't take away Diana. Diana is that song. Shout out to Chris Brown. Chris did his thing. Like, I'll always give it to Chris with this Afrobeat thing. Chris is always there for us. We are there for him. Whenever he needs us, whenever we need him, Chris will deliver. Also, Shenseea did her thing with the dancehall stuff. I really enjoyed what she did. That's the 2 songs there. Bandana too. Asake is the man now. Everybody wants Asake. The crowd vocals are the thing. If you have a song, you do not bring in crowd vocals now, nobody wants to listen. That's why Asake is the man. You just have to bring. Nobody hits Bandana. Shout out to Tupac too for inspiring this song. Also, my song Afro High Life. Afro High Life is that song. You really need to love Afro High Life. From all the instruments that were played on Afro High Life, you have to appreciate what they did on it. Also, one other song I'll bring in is Sofri. I really like Sofri. I love Sofri. So when I'll talk about my least favorite songs of the album, firstly, I'll bring Compromise.
Okay.
Because I had high hopes for Rema. Not that he did bad though. Rema is one of the most talented artists of Nigeria that I've seen in recent times. Rema can do anything he wants to do. He can deliver anything he wants to do. He can do everything. But to me, he should have done better due to the fan wars, the stand wars between the Rave Boys and the Fireboy Boys. He should have delivered a better verse. Even though he did good, we all appreciated what he did. He came correct, but he can still do better. Another song I have a problem with is Having Fun. Having Fun is a good song. Nobody is doubting that. But I think they are forcing him to the Caribbean. Fireboy is talented, we all agree. But why are you forcing him to do reggae? The patios is not there at all. The beat is bland. It's too bland for reggae. But if you listen, you know that this is reggae. This is reggae they are pushing. But it's too bland to me. Those are the 2 songs that I will really say I have a problem with. To some extent, I have a problem with Adore, but it's off it. Those are my top 2 songs.
Let me start with my top favorite song on the album. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Diana would have been my number 1 favorite. I mean, again, like you rightly said, Chris Brown. Oh man, Chris Brown is too good with this, Afrobeat, collaboration. It came on point on that song. In fact, everything about that song is just lovely. That song was my best song until I got to Afro High Life. I'm like, okay, maybe for sentimental reason or for whatever reason, I'm going to pick Afro High Life because everything about that song just hits home to me. And I think the only problem I have with Afro High Life is the fact that if you listen to the song very well, there is very little or no high life in that song. So I don't understand why they would not need the song Afro High Life. Maybe Afrobeat would have been better,
I think the thing is they want to push the song. Making controversial statements push things. That was the only connotation I had to put to it.
Let's even leave the title. The song on its own, like I said, is a brilliant song. And those are my top 2 favorite songs on the album. I'm not even going to lie. Any other song on the album are good songs, but those 2 are my top favorite. Now, the song that I felt, they didn't really do it well for me. A good song again, but compared to every other song on the album, I think number 1 has to be Compromise. The one featuring Rema, like you rightly said. The reason why I really don't like that song, again, like you said, I feel like Rema didn't do I don't know. For me, I think Rema was just too laid back on the song, and it wasn't just, especially with the old cry pattern he brought into the song. I feel it was not just. See, I mean, when Rema does that on a song, is always cool. But I feel on this song, it wasn't just necessary. It was way too high. And in as much as I want to blame Rema for this, this is where it gets difficult, because it is the same Zaki Amujei that produced this song, and it gets difficult for him. Like, maybe you could have toned down the old cry from Rema, or you have probably given him handkerchief to clean his face, because I don't understand why he was crying on this song. So I have compromised, and then I think the other song that I didn't really like again was Timothy. Now, Timothy is a good song. Yeah, Timothy is a good song. I'm not going to lie.
You're the second person that I've seen that said he doesn't like Timothy.
But I think the reason why I didn't like the song was because, I mean, we already had Peru. When you listen to Peru, you could feel like Fireboy was giving us that Peruzzi and Wandiko vibe on that song. So that was good. That was solid. Then it now went to Timothy, and now once it started, because if you listen to Timothy sounds like this Olamide song, Olamide and Whiskey song,
Exactly.
So it was like, I'm like, okay, I mean, you tried it with Peru, it went well. You should just leave her like that. This one we call it do with Timothy. Timothy Kana. I'm like, no. So I didn't really, again, like I said, it's a good song, but compared to every other song on the album, I think those would be, my two least song on the album. Like I said, I love every other song on the album. I love Adol too, and the reason I love Adol is because of Europe. Europe came through with his rap and in all of that. So now we've spoken about the songs that we like. We've spoken about the songs that we don't like. We've spoken about the production, and we've spoken about the general outfeel of the album. So now let me ask you. I'm going to ask you two questions now. If you were to rate this album, say over 10, what would be the rating? That is number one. And then number two, let's just play the devil's advocate, and let's imagine that YBNL and Empire decide to submit this album for a Grammy. Do you think this album will get nominated, or do you even think the album has that Grammy quality? Again, it's just a prediction. We don't know yet, but let's just play the devil's advocate and let's talk about that.
If I'm rating the album on a scale of 10, the album is a 7.5 for me. When we talk about the Grammy stuff too, I think it's a Grammy move already. They'll submit the album definitely, but winning is a problem. I don't think he's winning, but I think it's a Grammy-worthy material. The vision of the album is Grammy material, because bringing in Afro High Life, as they do call it, bringing in that song, that's what Grammy likes. Grammy likes traditional stuff. They like listen to tradition. Bringing it in is a thing, but we all know that Burna Boy is there. Burna Boy is the Atlantic are there to push it. Burna Boy must have that Grammy, whether we like it or not. But they are pushing it. It's getting nominated, we all know. Where I have a problem again is having multiple Nigerian albums on the best world music album category. That's where I have a problem. Because I know definitely Burna Boy will be there. We don't know who other big boy is coming again. And him again being, out of his generation is like the leading guy. Or I would say that.
Definitely.
So having like 3 albums, don't we think that it will look like a partiality to other African albums? And what will the Grammy do?
Let us digress a little. I mean, this is not part of the discussion, but let's quickly squeeze it in somewhere. Yes, if we have 3 Nigerian albums that gets nominated for the Grammy in the same category of, best world album, don't you think that is like a testament of how big our music industry has grown? Don't you think that is a good thing for us, that we've become so big that we are now having 3 albums nominated in the same category?
Yeah, it's a testament already. We all know that we are big. The Afrobeat to the world movement, or that was what I would call it, but it's already envisioned by Nigerians. Nigerians are the blueprint for it. But there are other artists, there are other countries doing way good traditional music. If we check it right, the South Africans are doing amazingly. Their Amapiano is everything now. Even our own Asake is doing Amapiano of theirs. There are a lot of artists, even Zino Lexi is doing it. And I think there are artists there doing amazingly with my body of works that can be submitted for Grammy. But I agree with you totally on it. We have envisioned it. We are the blueprints. Even the Grammy whole stuff, presently we are the blueprint. So
all right, like you rightly said, we are, the blueprint. So let's come back into Fireboy and his Playboy album. Like you already said, you'll be giving the album a 7.5 over 10, and you also think the album is Grammy worthy. Now, for me, I would say yes. I'll also give the album, a 7 over 10, a 7 over 10 rating. And the reason why is this: Fireboy knows how to give us sweet music, but there's always one problem I'm having with Fireboy. His songs are never long enough. It's just that right moment when you're about to enjoy the song the more. That's why it's that the song is. I'm like, can Fireboy do a song that is at least 3 minutes and maybe 14 or 4 minutes long? No, it's always 2 minutes or something. Why is it always do like that? I don't understand. A lot of all these songs are under 3 minutes, 2 minutes 15 seconds, 2 minutes 36 seconds, 2 minutes 44 seconds, and the song is over. And you begin to wonder, why is he doing like this? But again, he has mastered the art of giving us short songs, and we are always enjoying it. So again, like I said, the album is going to have a 7 over 10 rating. I mean, if you take away Bandana, if you take away Playboy, if you take away Peru, and if you take away what's the other song that was released? Yeah, if you take away those 3 songs, you can still have other songs on the album that you're going to enjoy. Songs like Change, songs like Ashao, songs like Sofri, songs like Diana, songs like I4 I Life, which I mean, super song. And you also have songs like Glory. So yeah, the album is still full of a lot of songs that you definitely enjoy. And do I think that this album is Grammy worthy? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure. I mean, yes, I understand that the mindset or the marketing strategy behind it is to make it a Grammy-worthy album. But I don't think the song has that quality. Yeah, it might get submitted, and depending on, this thing that we are saying, it's all about what am I going to put it? It's all about, we are just predicting. We don't know. Fireboy will definitely, submit his own album. Like you said, Burna Boy will also submit his own album. We also have other African artists that also try to submit, their own album. So we don't know what those artists, or what those albums might sound like. And eventually, Fireboy album might not get to be picked. But all that aside, listening to the album, I feel like, for me, and this is just my own personal opinion, I might be wrong, I might be right, but I just feel the song is not that Grammy worthy. The album rather is not Grammy worthy. It's not, no, let me say worthy. It's not Grammy standard. Let me put it like that. That's what I'm trying to say. The album for me is not, Grammy standard. Now, for those of you that are listening to us right about now, I know you might say, oh, it's a lie. How can you say that? This one? I mean, you can join the conversation. Tweet at me at Chacha Music Pod. That is my Twitter handle, or just drop a comment on the pod, on the Instagram page. It is also at Chacha Music Pod, and let me know what you think about the new Fireboy album titled Playboy. Is it good? Is it trash? Is it Grammy worthy or is not Grammy worthy? What are your best songs? What are your bad songs on the album? If at all this album has any bad song, let me know what you think of the new Fireboy album titled Playboy. Mustapha, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I really do appreciate. But should in case they want to come for you, that you said 1 or 2 things about the album, how can they come for you?
No, thank you for having me. If you want to come for me, I'm always around for you. I'm on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I'm at ym_bami, or you can just search Neonate. You'll see me. I'll pop up. All right. You will see Ashata Shakura on my display picture. That is Tupac's godmother.
Oh, now I understand why you like Bandana very well.
Lucky I'm not a Tupac fan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and members of the Chacha Nation, that is how we will be ending today's episode of the Chacha Album Review Series on the Chacha Music Review Podcast. Like, come your way with another episode. My name will always remain Afeez Tonova, aka your musical plug, creator of the Energy Force. Remember, keep the energy, keep it 100, and keep it positive. Peace out.
Time for the Cha-Cha gang. Give me the Cha-Cha gang. Rockin' with the best, Cha-Cha gang. Give me the Cha-Cha gang. I like it, I want Cha-Cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. What's in my body? Cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Cha-cha gang.
What's in my body?